Why did you let him kill me? Where was the clown? Make the clown go away.
Hi guys, welcome to the Urbageddon vlog.
Peace, brother.
So guys, we've got 3 hours left.
2 hours, 51 minutes and 61
I know, it's going to be a long time, but it's going to be a good time.
We driving all day.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, madame.
How is everybody?
I'm fine, thank you. Wish it's raining this on.
Yeah, we're still driving.
Still driving, we've done 80 miles and we still haven't left Wales.
Yep. Can't even pay us to leave Wales at this rate, guys.
Taking a pizzazz on. We got 2 hours and 7 minutes left without stopping.
We're hoping to stop for some food though, but the rain is a bit crazy.
I am starving, even though I don't look like it. I'm saying I'm the barber.
It's a boy.
2 hours later.
We're here, guys.
Your destination
Looks
is on the
really
left.
good. Home for the weekend. Room tour, woohoo! We're here. So what have we got? Ooh, swanky. It's quite nice, Sarah's. All my stuff I've done for this. Sorry, guys. Got some drawers. What's in here? I'm quite nosy. Ooh, an ironing board, a heater thingy, a fan. What the hell is that? Well, I've got noise me, you can sleep there. Lovely bed. Beautiful room service on the phone. Look at these pictures. Stunning. Not your typical abando, but it is gorge. Little sofa. Mirror. Woohoo! What's the view like outside? Oh, cool. Everyone's having a cigarette outside. Right. Let's go and see the Harry Potter, guys. Oh, wow, wow, wow. So pretty in here. Ooh. Stunning. Oh, I love this. Can't have a shower in here though, guys. That's lush. Right, Gav, got anything to say for the camera?
Yeah, I'm bored and I'm home.
It's awesome. Yeah, lush. Right, guys, we'll catch back up with you later, okay?
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Gavla,
What that?
first drinks of the vlog, how do you feel?
Beautiful. Cheers.
Cheers, dears. For my two. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah, the lot are in there having some grub. We have Melissa, Gareth, Bannon and Wales. Sorry, Barry, I will remember. We have John Bengal in there. Brady. So, lovely bunch to start the day. Let's go and have some more.
Later that same evening.
We have explored with Gav. We have explored with Brady. We have John Bengo himself. Melissa Jones, Paranormal, Caro, Nick Spanner. Hello guys. And we have Dazzy. Woo! Sambuca. Cheers guys. Yes. Ready? Oh.
What are you putting on? What are you putting on?
One pair of pants later.
Morning everyone. Very tired Gavla. And this is the Doubletree Hilton in the morning. It's very nice. It's the day of Urbageddon. Today I'm going to try and show little snippets of the hotel in between everything else. Let's go.
She's common as muck. So welcome to the common as muck Urbageddon. So this is completely unscripted, and I really mean that, because I didn't know I was going to be doing this. So just wanted to wish you a happy Urbageddon and many returns for the day. To anyone who got married today, I hope you have a very long and loving relationship. You know, but yes, at least until you've consummated the marriage. You know, later on this evening, in which case then you can get divorced. Yeah. So, well, thank you for everybody who's turned up. Even though the thanks should really go to this lady here, lovely lady Melissa. Who's organised everything, and yes, she's done a very good job, because there's more people than we had last year. That's no disrespect to John, but I think it's just getting popular. And there were some problems last year because the trains weren't running, and that some people couldn't actually get to the event. So this is probably more representative of what it should be like, and hopefully it'll get bigger and better in the future. So thanks again, Melissa. Yeah, thanks for doing it. And I believe you've said that you might be doing another one. Yeah. You might. Are you going to make that official?
Go on, Mal.
Go on then.
You're not expecting me to say like you know. Common as muck. I ate my friends. Well, all I can say is it's actually John's baby. He come up with the idea of Urbageddon, and yeah,
Thank you, John.
we thought we'd take over this.
We love you, John.
And we love you. We love Ouchie bow.
I'm not worthy.
Ouchie bow.
He's handing me all the buttons.
And yes, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's come. Obviously, Dark Arts, Andy Stray, Lottie, who else have we got? Oh, sorry, Hunting Hunters HQ, we can't miss him.
What?
Yeah. Souls Lost Souls, who come all the way from Ireland. Just to be here for us, and I really do appreciate it. I really do. And obviously my fave. Sorry, no offence to anybody else, but everyone knows I love Carl, so. Yeah. It's just my dark side of life. It's simple.
He's old.
No, he's old because he's grey. Can't be any worse than me. You know what I mean? So, everybody else who's come, and Bearded Reality, Brady, everybody, thank you very much for making this what it is.
Thank you, Mel.
Well done, guys.
So I'll pass you over to, Carl. How can I forget me, Matt? She's standing there next to me and I'm really fucking sorry. Yeah. He knows I love him to bits and he's like a brother to me, aren't you? Yeah.
Love you, Matt.
The special man. So I'll hand you back over to our Matthew and take it from there, and thank you again.
Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, just, you know, when you leave, they'll miss you. That's why you Melissa. Yeah. But thanks as well to everybody in the pub who's been really good today and put the food on and everything, which is especially for us. Very good. Oh, the pizza incident. Yeah. My real life stalker ordered £78 worth of pizza or something in my name, and it turned up. Yeah. Yeah, just so you know. Yeah. Thanks to Matt and Celia behind the bar for everything you've done. Thank you. Yeah. And all the bar staff. And everyone who's not here, thanks to you as well. Yeah. Thanks to the universe. Yeah. Thanks to Mum and Dad. Yeah. But I think I know the real reason everybody's here today, folks, is Carl Dark Arts Paranormal. Thank you for making the numbers up. With all your excellent viewers. Cheers, mate. Oh, Melissa is asking permission to say one more thing. Should we give her permission?
No.
Oh, that's a bit. Can we give it permission? Come on. Here you go then.
Sorry, how can I forget Barry Little?
It's quite easy because he's so short.
He's not here at the moment. I think he's took his daughter home, so he's coming back. But yeah, he's me rock as well. So I just want to say thank you to Barry, and you better do it with me next year. And yeah, and forevermore, and John. And he's going to, doing his interviews and all that. You're involved. It's your bloody event. You're not getting out of it too easy. Me. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, thanks to Barry and Liam who've been doing taxi runs back and forward to the hotel, bringing people up here. So thank you very much. Yeah. So they've had to stay sober. Or at least they say they have anyway, but you know, we always find out by the end of the night if there was any accidents, but yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the introduction, and it's really nice to see all the different explorers here from the different channels, and if you haven't met each other, do go and chat to each other, you know, nobody bites. Much apart from Jackie Green's, creatures. But yeah, if anybody wants to have photos, I mean, I'm certainly happy to do that, and everybody else as well. So just ask. Don't feel afraid to come up and ask.
I don't feel afraid.
you've had loads. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you better to use that picture.
What picture?
Me when I look at the smoke.
I'm saving that. I'm saving that
No,
one.
you're not.
It's OnlyFans, that one.
I'll take you out.
From underneath.
Excuse me.
A nice undercut. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've had some people come a long distance. So there's a couple from Ireland, and there's one lady who's come from the Netherlands. She drove over. There she is. Come a long distance. Have we got anybody who's come any further than that? I mean, Carl drove down from Scotland after being in America.
Abandoned buildings in Scotland.
It is pretty abandoned in Scotland, isn't it? Yeah, just in general. Just anywhere. Newcastle.
Everywhere.
Oh yeah, okay, well. Alright, yeah. You can have middle prize, right? So middle prize.
I've got a confession to tell you. The t-shirt, I put a wank sock next to it. And a match drawn a little. And then your eye is a sperm. Sorry, but it's got to be done. We all know you're the Daniel Bollock.
If anybody doesn't know the story about the legendary wank socks of Daniel, I'd be more than happy to tell you on a live stream exactly how many he's got, which cupboards and drawers they're in, and how long. I think he's got them numbered up, you know, by how long, how many weeks they've been in there. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're thinking, Simon. Thank you to Simon.
Yes, well,
Please say thank you to Simon, and there we go.
no.
Come on, whoever Simon is, that's Simon, right? Thank you.
If it wouldn't be for him, we all wouldn't be
I wouldn't even be alive if it wasn't for this man. Whoever he is, yeah.
Even though Judy's just reminded me.
Yeah, she'll slap me.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
before? No, you won't. Everyone's welcome.
You know, so,
The baby you wouldn't have happened to you if you wasn't beside
Exactly.
you.
if it wouldn't be for him, we wouldn't have this event.
No, you won't. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Take the picture.
No, everyone's welcome. Enjoy yourselves, guys. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's welcome. Well done, guys. I'm glad you've all turned up. I'm glad everyone is here. It's awesome.
Well,
this is what it's about.
this
It's
is
about.
why- this is why we
It's
do it.
about.
Everyone getting together in
Well, this is exactly why we do it.
Yeah.
You don't get to meet each other,
Yeah.
interact with each
No
other,
shit. Enjoy
get the
it.
community together and all enjoy it, so there's no drama, there's no
Exactly.
shit between us,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and it'll just get bigger and bigger.
I sound like Conrad.
But yeah, all these are classed as my best friends, and yeah, can't ask for better friends. Yeah, bring it on, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, it's been suggested we do interviews, and I'm up for it as long as Carl wants to come and tell us his life story as well, perhaps. So I don't know. From the very beginning.
Can I just say, have we got an actual bleeping machine that we can bleep things out?
So we're gonna get the full life story of Carl Hassel, Dark Arts Paranormal. Yeah, tell us it all, man. No holds barred.
Sorry. No holds barred.
No holds barred.
Start the drama.
Big shout PD. Anyway, not going there. No. Fuck's sake. Why do I sound so fucking basic? Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Do you want me to spit some fucking lyrics? So my name's Carl. I've been drinking since I've been 15. Yeah, it's like a fucking alcoholic anonymous meeting this, isn't it? £12 a ticket. Tell us your problems. What do you want to know? I just want a big shout. Matthew Williams. We've had some awesome times. We've done some crazy shit.
Did you notice nobody clapped? That's what
Yeah, fucking. Come on. Fuck's sake. No, big shout everyone being here tonight. It's awesome. Obviously, you know, like everyone coming together and stuff like that. It's sick. No drama, no bullshit. It's what it's about. Everyone's showing and sharing the same interests and God knows what else. But what do you want to know?
Right.
My fucking dick size. That's why I can't hold a girlfriend down, innit? Like, what the fuck's going on? Fuck's sake.
I'm very interested in your size.
What? Okay, at least I know who we're going on to tonight, innit? Fucking hell. Never knew I was fucking gay to this point. Alright, so
Does the ship size resemble what it's going to?
no. Does it fuck? What do you want to know?
He'll give you some questions.
Alright, yeah, John, come give us a...
He does like the interviews people.
Right, I'll try and keep it YouTube censored. Right, come on, man.
It's on there, darling. It's on there.
Well, what we got to say is thanks everyone. Yeah, I don't know what to say really. That's alright, I can always just go like that. Oh, so yeah. You know what? 1 second.
I've been waiting 20 minutes to do that. I've been waiting to see you.
There we go. It's a bit overdone. 1, 2.
1, 2.
Try.
Would you use two?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So if I stand here,
Are you putting up on each other's faces?
excuse me, could you,
You should have done it with a marker.
right, shall we get on with this interview then, yeah?
Yeah?
Do I sound
Closer to your mouth, he says.
Well, no, I'm not used to it. You might be, I'm not. Can you hear me now? Sit down, sit down.
Yeah, Luke, come on.
Fuck's sake. Right, okay. Carl, Dark Arts TV, give him a round of applause firstly for being here.
Thank you very much, honestly, much appreciated.
Thanks.
You don't expect it, do you know what I mean?
Eh?
You just don't expect it, it's just random, isn't it?
It's proper random.
It's random.
So you've got about 192,000 subscribers. You've been going God knows how long. How long have you been going firstly? Come and tell us.
10 years, I was actually the official UK channel to do paranormal stuff in the UK 10 years ago.
10 years.
10 years ago, I was the first paranormal channel for the UK.
Come on, give him a round for that one. 10 years. So you've done loads of stuff, you know, obviously you've been everywhere, all over the world. You've even done other TV series like Dark Territories, I think it was. Are we going to have another series?
So another series, we have talks to do another series, but it all depends just yet. All depends, like personal circumstances and stuff like that. But we have got plans and a UFO documentary.
Oh, when's that coming out?
No idea just yet. No idea just yet. No, I don't plan. It's kind of just a case of like, right boys, what are you doing? We're getting up and going. Come on, let's go. And Neil's just kind of like, oh, you know, let's go, man. I'm not even been home.
That's not my fault.
Do you know what I mean? Neil's been home. I ain't been home. It's been over a month and I've not been home. I've been fucking living on my suitcase.
I ain't got a cat. Alright, so how did you start in getting involved in paranormal? What actually made you think, what else is out there? Was it a personal thing, or was it just like, I saw somebody else do something, or you might have an experience? Let me know.
Right, so basically it all started from being young. I used to experience weird things that I just can't explain. Earliest memories and just odd things are just things I can't explain. I used to say to mum all the time, like, I've just had this happen and something, whatever. And she basically turned around and said, oh, you know, you're probably just imagining things and blah, blah, blah. But at that point in time, mum was obviously experiencing the same thing that my brother was. And it wasn't until years later, so I was about 13, I think it was 14, we had a really odd experience, something I just can't explain. If you ask my mum to this day, she'll tell you it's like an alien experience. And we don't come from a religious background or anything like that, but my mum to this day still won't go to sleep without the prayer cards and stuff like that. We actually had the house exorcised by a priest who came round and did all the holy stuff and put olive oil everywhere and holy water. And ever since that, it just stopped. So that was my, well, it was like the call. Do you know what I mean?
Like a catalyst.
Yeah, basically, yeah, that was it. I was like, right, well, I've got to know more. So I started going out with my cousin. At a young age, we started doing a lot of stuff like investigations, and then started going to a lot of public, like private events and things like that. And I started documenting my findings from a very young age, and I've been doing this well before YouTube, so I was already collecting a lot of archive stuff, which I've still not shared with anyone. And yeah, time's just gone on, and I'm here now.
So can I go back to what you were saying before? You had an experience. You would go a bit deeper into that and what it was, or can you, if you don't want to, I understand.
It's a long story, it really is a long story. So I'll give you a quick rundown. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning, and basically I had woken up and I looked down at my leg, and as I looked down I could see this like incision into my leg, and it was like open but it wasn't bleeding. So I can vaguely remember the burning sensation I had. So anyway, I jumped out of bed, walked across over to my mum's bedroom, which is like, my bedroom door's here, hers is there, so it's literally a case of straight across. So I went in and I said to her, I was like, Mum, she's like, what? I've got a gash in my leg. She's like, oh, don't worry about it, you're just dreaming. So I was like, what the fuck? So I go into the bathroom and I'm thinking, it's fucking weird this, but at this point in time, my mum's looking at the clock thinking, well, it's 5 a.m, it's nearly daytime. You know, you can almost see like the, you know, like that chiaroscuro grayscale looking, yeah, silver lining kind of thing going through the windows. So I jumped back in bed, and then I'm kind of thinking, what was that about? So next minute, basically what happened was, I put the TV on, and this is before digital, so it's like the analog static looking thing, and the channels were working, it was like BBC or whatever. Next minute the TV had changed this static looking image, and I could hear this weird sound going.
So you were awake at this point?
Wait, yeah, wide awake, yeah. But I started to see this outline on the TV, so it turned out the sound that I was hearing was actually the sound that my mum was making. But as this was happening, this weird like shadow silhouette block looking figure, it's like a static black mass, was all of a sudden coming into the room. But what had happened was, my mum was also experiencing the exact same thing, and my brother in the other room. So next minute we're all screaming, shouting, everything's all commotion, and we're running to the room, and we're like, what the fuck just happened? Because we all had this experience of like these shadow figures and not being able to move, but there's 3 of us, it's not just one person, it's 3 people happening at the same time.
So simultaneously, all different rooms, something happening.
Yeah, basically it's at the exact same time. So, but I mean, this has been going on for years prior, like weird things happening in the house, but there was this like ultimate moment where it just happened. So yeah, that's how I got into it. It's fucked.
It sounds a bit fun.
Fucking mentally scarred.
Yeah, I got you. No. So from there, moving on from there, so documented stuff, kept going, and to this day, obviously, you're still doing everything else. Can you give us a bit more explanation what tools you use? Because obviously, everyone has watched you at some point in time, and you use a varied number of tools.
So my go-to is a spirit box. A lot of people say, oh, you know, it's garbage, just FM stuff. But when you're getting the word CUNT coming through and calling you all kinds of stuff, then it kind of validates that it's not coming from a radio station. You know, especially between certain sweeps. Like, what's it, ITV, like BBC One, like, Radio 1 Extra giving, oh yeah, big shout to that motherfucker over there, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, that's my number one tool is spirit box. EVPs and always a go-to device, especially, you know, getting electronic voice phenomena. It's golden every time, especially when you're using an older model, because obviously, you know, the new ones have got presets and it just basically cuts out a lot of the rawness to it. So that's the main ones. SLS cameras.
Yeah, they're quite mental, aren't they, really? I mean,
yeah.
I saw them and you hold it out and whether you see something or not. A lot of people, I could go on to this about debunkers, because obviously you get a lot of this, right? So,
that's what I mean, there you go.
So yeah, I was going to ask your thoughts on it, because obviously you're talking about various technologies and a lot of people, you can fake stuff now. You know, AI is wonderful, but it's also a pain in the ass, especially something you do.
The way I see it is, you're making content off someone else's other content, so you're not actually going and doing the work. Like, we travel fucking thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. Me and Neil did, what, 5,000 miles in 2 weeks? 6 hours straight and falling asleep at location trying to film. Right, and then people come around and say, oh, you're fake. Am I? Would you waste your time traveling to all these foreign fucking countries and going, oh, I'm gonna slam this door in 3, 2, 1, bam. And wasting all this money, all the investment money gone to all these, you know, different locations, hire cars, planes, hotels, blah, 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 blah. Would you fake it?
No. I get you, but I had to ask a question.
But I can understand this, obviously, the skeptic mindset. As long as you're being, like, you know, respectable and saying, you know, well, I think that is fake and stuff like that. Fair enough. Do you know what I mean?
Because for me personally, a lot of people sort of think, well, there's no scientific evidence, because there's no specific method. Because to prove something, you have to have a method, and then you can do a theory. Do you think it would be good to try and, within the paranormal world, to actually get it so you have a method, so they can specifically then start to detect things? Because okay, you can detect EMF waves, for example. We all know you can get them when there's no sort of electrical fault around, but they are erratic by nature, as an example.
Yeah, I mean, you can obviously get like spontaneous energy, which is a thing which is not necessarily paranormal related. It's just fluctuations of random EMF, which can obviously give false readings. But obviously, when you're asking questions and getting certain things, and it's all linked, you know. I mean, we had it the other day, didn't we, where we was in Bill Manor, and the EMF was going mad, and he was like trying to figure it out and stuff, and he was going mad, saying, "Oh, fucking Beardo's going to be on our case. He's going to think we're faking it." I'm like, "Fuck Beardo." Like, to be fair, like, I do speak to him. No one can debunk me. He won't even speak about me. Well, to be fair, I do have him on Facebook. We have spoke. He has warned me of like someone called Cajun TV, some American guy who lives in the swamps.
Cajun TV is like some type of cooking program.
Yeah, well, his name's Bayou, so he probably fucking stinks like the swamp. But anyway, but it's just. But literally, Beardo had basically taken his video and debunked his video because he was basically overlaying white noise over my actual EVPs, trying to make out I'm fucking faking it, or there's nothing there. And I'm like, what are you doing, man?
So he's faking something which you think is already fake?
He was faking it, trying to say it's fake, yeah.
Bell end.
No, but big shout Beardo anyway. Like, you know, he's quite respectable in some ways and stuff. And each to their own, but yet again, I do believe in, you know, go make your own content. Go experience for yourself. There's no point reviewing other people's things. Oh, that's fucking bullshit. Unfortunately, of Hollywood, you know, we have Sam Colby. Project Fair. 100 quid a signature. Hey, that's what they're fucking charging. So we was at Paracon, all these celebrities, like, he was that one from the Jersey Show, whatever. Angela, whatever. All charging, the celebrities charging 100 quid. Celebrities. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
100 quid a signature. I didn't come here tonight to charge everyone for a fucking signature or a picture, do you know what I mean? It's disgusting because the way I see it is like, if it weren't for you guys and all the creators...
I've got a deal for you, right? Do this, right?
Yeah.
50-50, yeah?
No, it's true though, do you know what I mean? I have time for absolutely everyone, and like, people give me shit, and like, oh, you fucking fake, I hate that, something off twat, like, whatever, like, do you know what I mean? But I appreciate speaking to every single one of you if you've got time to get around to it. Do you know what I mean? But I do make time and appreciate everyone, so thank you.
So, give me another round. We're all getting pissed.
I just want to make that clear.
What's
I'm
that?
fancying, but it's my favourite channel.
Get it out.
Turn gay with Andy.
I know you do the old method and stuff, and I know you don't fucking
Give her a mic.
all these new REM pods and all that.
Yeah.
You do the old method.
Yeah, the thing is, I ask anyone who says I'm fake to come with me. I've got nothing to hide.
Well, that's the thing. I'm skeptic, but I will quite happily come with you with a few bits and pieces, just to see how it is. Don't get anything, you don't get anything. You do, you do.
Well,
That's the thing.
It is what it is.
Brady's been there watching
Yeah, come on, Birdman. Get your ass up here, boy. Get them pants down.
Come on, son, come on up.
Right, go on, man. Right, go on. Yeah, go on, you ask the questions.
What happened when you met this man in a building by chance, because it was by chance, wasn't it? As far as I
I was
remember.
with One World Explorer, Dave. We were, it was, it was a fucking nuts night, sorry for swearing, but fuck me. You can't fake that shit, I'm sorry, but what I experienced that night was just mind-blowing.
Bear in mind, obviously, this is the first time I actually met you as well.
This guy.
We bumped into because me and Lottie was just like, who the fuck's at the door?
we came up the drive, we were like, there's people in there, and I walked up, and David was behind me, he went, I'm just gonna knock here. I was like, oh, no, she went, oh, what the fuck is that? Nuts, but nah, fuck me, what happened in that house, you can't fake that shit.
Yeah.
This guy is fucking a legend, I'm gonna say. But no, he's the best paranormal
He's a
ever.
legend.
Fuck's sake.
No, but you can't fake that shit. You can't. I mean, I'm very open to shit like that. You know that.
Very sensitive.
And when I walked up that stairs, fuck me, I felt something fucking dark up there, and he was like, I just started choking. It was nuts. I've never felt anything like that in my life. And, yeah.
It was just crazy, basically. We had so much activity to respect.
It was. Sorry.
Fuck's sake. Yeah. But yeah, I just want to shout out my crew, obviously, who we work with on a regular occasion and stuff. Like, we work very hard. A lot, fucking hell, I've been grinding for like 10 years. Do you know what I mean? It's just mad how time's gone. I'm thinking like, fuck me, where's my life going to? Do you know what I mean? It's weird. Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah, but it's time consuming, I can see. The amount of videos that you have, obviously the amount of followers you have as well. And the content you put in, especially like Dark Territories, okay, it's different from your channel, but it's much more in depth in the sense of you do a background and you start looking into things, and then you have a little synopsis afterwards about what happened.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't see it is they see a 45-minute episode of like everything blended into one, but it's not the case. It's literally it's like 2 to 3 nights consecutive filming at the same location blended into one, because obviously to maximise the activity, because obviously we want to show everyone who's watching, like, that's crazy, we've got captured this and stuff like that. Sometimes we walk away like 30 East Drive, okay now, don't forget me starting on 30 East Drive. People swear by it, but I'm just like, isn't it? It's fucking not right. No, but seriously, 30 East Drive, the guy who directed the film owns the house, I think it's fake.
What I also felt good though is that I don't know about anybody else, but I find for yourself, when you see things on yours, I sometimes see on other channels like, what was that? And they just like walk up and you're like, there's nothing. if you don't get anything, you say, well, we did it for another 10 minutes, didn't get nothing. And you still sometimes go, do you hear that noise? But if it's audible, 9 times out of 10 you'll have it reversed back and then you have it slowed down, don't you, as well?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've got to siphon through the audio, but sometimes obviously you do miss it. You know, it is what it is, but obviously, you know, the viewers do point out stuff and you go over it and things like that, but it's tedious. You got to go drive, film, edit, repeat cycle, and thing is, it causes a lot of problems. I've had like, how many relationships gone to shit, because obviously, like, my focus and like aim is obviously to prove to myself, one, that I'm not nuts, especially from all the shit that happened when I was younger, obviously experiencing things like that, but I don't know, it's just like I feel like I'm on a mission. But obviously relationships go downhill at the same time, and it causes a lot of problems.
So it goes back to the debunkers. Why do it if you have that much shit happen? And that's because you believe in what you're doing.
Exactly, yeah, 100%. Like I said to you, and I said, we're not making videos for Beardo. We're not. I ain't travelled fucking how many miles to God knows where else to go to an abandoned house and pay this X amount of cash and be tired just to be like, oh yeah, let's do this, let's impress Beardo. And who's the other one? The shape. Oh fucking! Honestly, it's exhausting. It's tiring.
Definitely, I could see that. You know, you travel all over the world. You know, you wouldn't do it if it was fake. You'd be like, no, I don't get enough fucking money out of it.
The way I see it is, if you're constantly investigating sheds, I'm not going to mention any names, sheds, fucking barns, derelict buildings that have been burnt down about 15,000 times. Do you know what I mean? Yes, and claimed as a demon. It's fucking bullshit. It is. Get out the country. Go experience it for yourself, do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, looking at your stuff, it's different in different countries. I mean, you can do something in the UK, and it is completely different. Just even from a viewer point of view, it's different if you're in, say, in fucking Spain or somewhere like that. So, yeah, moving on. So, what is the most scary? I don't want to say scary. It's too like, oh, what's the scariest?
It's funny because I get it all the time, and I'm like, so it's like Matt was like, do you remember that time? And I'm like, fuck, I remember that time. I completely forgot about the time. But yeah,
okay, so
with a police stealth boat getting arrested in the middle of the fucking ocean, what were YouTubers doing that? Getting cautioned at another time by another police boat. Like me and Matthew have done some crazy stuff. Like we had the best adventures, man. I'm honestly big shout, Secret Vault, seriously. You know, absolute fucking legend. You know, I actually come across. Yeah, love you, bro. Honestly, when we was doing the Burlington Bunker Underground series in Caution, we actually came across Matthew V. I was like, who's this guy? He's just going terrorising the fucking military police. And I was like, we gotta message this guy. And then that was it. We ended up becoming like really good friends, and we did a lot of stuff. We nearly died how many times? You nearly died slipping down that cable. Nearly fell to your death. We nearly died in the underground canal, drowned to death in freezing cold waters, and it's madness, honestly. They were the best times, seriously. So.
Hey, do you remember that time when we were in the tunnels in Bristol, and you couldn't receive any radio signal at all on your spirit box? It was going all the way through the frequencies, and it was just noise, just shh. And when you asked a question, it jumped out of the noise. There was no radio channels there, and those voices popped straight out of that.
I thought he was going to mention the time when we set a firework off on the ground and it nearly fucking killed us.
The roof came down, didn't it?
The shockwave nearly killed us all.
Yeah. and also, I don't know whether you witnessed it, but remember we were in the children's hospital in Bristol? And
dressed in suits.
We were all dressed in suits. And my trousers got pulled down. Did you actually see that? They just went straight down. Yeah, anyway. I'm not blaming Carl for my trousers coming down, but yeah, I'll give you my number later.
Thanks, Bear. Well, that answered that question. So, this is going to touch on your subjects as well, really, but do you think, or is it, in your opinion, and the evidence that you've gone over the years, there's a difference, well, there's a link between the paranormal, as in ghosts, entities, demons, or however you want to call it, and UFOs and aliens?
Yeah, without a doubt, 100%. So when I went up to Tennessee in March, I actually filmed a UFO documentary, and the stuff that was linking in with the stuff we was capturing in the sky was actually linking into the spirit box. And my friend's been my American friend's been documenting for quite a while, and he's studied the occult. Anyway, he started tampering with all this crazy stuff, and there's a point in that video where I said, "Can you show yourself to Daniel now?" And he come through straight away saying, "We can." And this weird anomaly, he doesn't really show it too well. He shows it well on the camera, but he doesn't show it obviously what we'd seeing. It was like a weird, strange blue, not like a shooting star. It was something totally different. And obviously, Lottie and Andy can verify this because we had a fucked up experience. Excuse my French. Why do we always swear?
Fucking don't know.
It's like that rough end Manchester talking. I need to like have an elocution lesson like Zach Bagans or something like. I never used to believe in UFOs until I come face to face with one. I mean, now I fake videos for my credibility. Someone will cut that somewhere. I want them to put it up on Dark-Ass TV provided proven to be fake. Yeah.
So, yeah, brilliant. So you think there's a massive link?
It's linked. It's 100% linked. Because we've had stuff in it. You can verify this stuff. We've had weird things. Also, Neil with the cryptids in Ballybolly. We had the woman shouting for help, which is, you know, like it's linked to the story of the cryptid shit and calling for help. People go missing, like a 411 case, for example. It's all linked.
So, putting that in mind, then, I've just thought of another question. That's all when you said that. Well, fucking hell. Right. So, would you say some of the experience you have, you think is possibly linked to UFOs? So maybe not dead people, for example, or both, or neither, or you know, just go because obviously a lot of the paranormal stuff is to do with the dead and spirits.
Who's to say it's not us subconsciously manifesting? It's like, for example, the Simon experiment, where they send a lot of people into a location, they come up with this story, people then believe the story, then which manifests an actual entity of some sort, which has been also proven. You know about the Simon experiment, don't you, Matthew? Maybe you know a little bit. You know, is it the Philip or the Simon? I can't remember which one. Yeah, they basically created a ghost and like it actually manifested it. So it basically goes back to quantum, where the two guys were manipulating particles with a mind, and they were monitoring stuff, and then they managed to manipulate the particles to go through.
So it's more power than mine.
Basically, yeah. So who's to say we like
mass hysteria, for example? If everybody thinks there's that there, so if you've got people in the room believing something, it may happen, it may manifest itself through your own mind rather than
literally mass hysteria, but with physical evidence.
Yeah,
which is scary. Yeah. Does that mean we're living in a simulation? It's weird.
Yeah, that's a whole different subject with the simulation part. So, one place that if there's one place you haven't been, but you really do want to go, what is it? You know, the one place that you'd think, right, you know what, that is that place.
Do you know what? I used to be able to answer that question and say Pavela Island in Italy, but I've done it. So I'm like, kind of like, where do I go from now?
So you ain't got a place now.
So that's it.
That's fair play. If you've done everything.
I'm quitting, guys. Thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Doing them and then.
So, other than continuing doing what you're doing now, and possibly the UFO and the dark territory, anything else in the pipeline which you can divulge or you want to do future?
To be honest, I want to quit YouTube. I'm not going to lie. I've been thinking about it for quite some time. I think I just want to get off it completely. The thing is, it's a toxic environment. It's nothing but arguing, bitching, reviewing and faking and saturation has become like so immense that the fact that, you know, like the well-established channels are struggling in aspects for obviously to keep continuing making videos for everyone. But I don't know. I think I just feel like I want to move on to something more produced. Like
we want to do more mainstream.
About, obviously, I don't know if everyone's seen it, but me and Locke was going to work on this this new show and stuff like that, but we didn't know what was going to do with it just yet. So it's possibly in the pipeline, who knows? But YouTube, I think it's going to come crashing down. I honestly think YouTube are losing money. That's what I think, because they've got to compete with TikTok. You've got all these other platforms. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a possibility. So that's it. I've got no other questions.
Yeah, I don't want to waste anyone's more time. Just get to the fucking bar and get on with it.
Right,
well, thank you so much for it.
Go on, big hand for gold.
Thank you, honestly, cheers. Much appreciated. Cheers, man. Much appreciated. Cheers to everyone else as well. Thank you so much. And my guys in the corner, like, so a big shout, Matthew. Yeah, man. Secret of our business. Wicked.
You want some more? Yeah, come on.
I'll say something, man.
Go I'm staying up apparently. I'm doing that now.
What do you want?
Oh well, you know, I thought I'd interview again, but this time not so drunk.
Not so drunk.
Because last time it was a bit of a... Yeah, so... Should we have a little break for 5 minutes, though?
Yeah.
We'll have a break, get drinks, do whatever, we'll come back, we'll have another interview, yeah? All good with that?
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Randall, where are you? It's time for your second quarter interview. Hold on a sec.
I don't mind.
Is that alright, yeah?
I know how to use a mic, John.
Yeah, so do I.
Sorry, what was that, John? I don't know.
Look at that.
Still good. Look up.
Who's he on?
After that rude interruption.
What a thoroughly awful man. Oh, you probably didn't hear that. Right, everyone. Give a big round of applause for the secret life.
Thank you.
That's it, okay, now.
Yes,
No, this is a family show.
Yes!
Christ, that was hairy. Oh, wicked. So,
there's nothing there, is it? No handful at all?
no, there's nothing. I couldn't even, no, nothing at all now. Did you wax?
Oh, I did, yeah. It was zoop. Oh, that's where it's... Ah! They were really big before the waxing. Yeah.
I wonder why you had one nipple. So, right, Matt, everyone knows what you're doing. Can you tell us how you started off in doing this and what you did before? Because I know you did a lot of stuff before you did Urbageddon.
Okay.
So, depending how far you want to go for, right?
Not like I did last time.
No.
We'll skip over the childhood bit, right?
Yeah, the childhood bit.
I was born, I lived in Cardiff, then we moved to Barry, and then we moved back to the Rhondda Valleys. And whilst I was in the Rhondda Valleys, I was computer programming and sort of like a techno kid. Didn't believe in the paranormal, didn't believe in weird stuff, never had any weird experiences of anything. But one night I was doing some video editing in a studio and I went across a mountain road and saw a triangular thing on the side of the mountain, and it was in front of the mountain behind the tree line. It made me think, like, what the hell was that? I was interested in reading books on the paranormal, but I just didn't really believe a lot of it. I just didn't know what to think, you know, kind of
So you didn't
on
think
the
it was
fence.
absolute bollocks, you just thought, you just never really delved into it?
Yeah, I was a bit of a, you know, atheist, didn't really believe, I thought religion's all nonsense, you know, this is all, you know, but I was curious with these stories, you know, like people say they've seen things and, you know, they're great stories. I just dealt with them as stories, you know, and then when I had that sighting, it put me in a completely different sort of position, because I was seeing myself now as like one of these people thinking, well, I've seen something I can't explain, and probably nobody would believe me, but it's changed my mind about things. So it put me on a new path, and I started investigating UFOs and going out to interview witnesses, all that sort of stuff. And I started writing for UFO magazines, and I appeared on a number of television programs and radio shows, all that sort of stuff. And then my research took me to a place called RAF Rudlow Manor, which is down in Corsham. And you'll probably be familiar with the Urbex stuff as the Red Door.
Yeah.
It's actually underneath that base. And they were investigating UFOs for the Ministry of Defence. And this was denied for many years that they were doing it. We eventually, through the Freedom of Information Act and the Public Records Office, we got a document which listed all the departments that did used to investigate UFOs, and this was at a time when they'd never admitted to these departments, and one of them was Pro Boston Security Service. and their base was at Ruglow Manor in Corsham. So I went down there to find out what was going on, and hanging around, walking around the base, trying to sort of see what the extents of it were. And
you got fairly well known as well because of that, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, the first time I ever went there, it was near Christmas, and we drove down towards the entrance to the base, which is now a disused part of the base because there's two sections, and this is the old bit. And drove down there and said, "Oh, can we speak to somebody about the UFO investigations they apparently do here?" And he said, "Oh, hang on a minute." And within about a minute, a Land Rover pulled up behind the car. These guys jumped out with guns, ran towards the car, and we had guns pointed like directly at our heads, like sort of like literally like that. One guy's there, one guy there, two guns, bang bang, and my mate on the other side, two guys on the other side. So four.
That's serious.
Yeah, there. And just because we asked, could we speak to somebody about the UFOs that they investigated at the base? So then that got me really interested, you know, like what's going on here, because this is pretty serious kind of security they're playing here, and I thought, well, I've got to find out more about it. So I went and spoke to the locals, found out what was going on in the area, and I found out that there was a side story, was that this place had a massive underground tunnel network, which was 25 miles of underground tunnels, and it was a place that during the war the royal family would have gone to stay in bunkers underground. It had about 5,000 people would be working underground, so this was a massive, you know, base, and the public didn't really know very much about it.
So what you're saying is, if there was nuclear war, anything like that, the royal family somehow, if they survived, were able to keep down there for a little while till it all blew over.
Well, it would have been up to the war, maybe when the hydrogen bomb, you know, it would have been safe for that, but not safe for nuclear weapons because they're a lot more destructive. And
right, for the hydrogen bomb.
Yeah.
Right, gotcha.
So it kind of got mothballed, this place, and they played this game with the public of telling them that there was nothing going on there and it was all being shut down and all this sort of stuff. And we knew this not to be true. We knew this to be a kind of a game they were playing on the public, and we kept up the pressure of saying, you know, this place it's doing this and this, and eventually they decided to give up on the idea of the masquerade of what they were telling people, and they said, no, actually we're going to invest like nearly £1 billion on upgrading this base, and to this day now it's one of the biggest computer centres for the MOD outside GCHQ. And it's the headquarters of all communications for the Ministry of Defence.
How convenient.
Yes, yeah. And it's also where they've got the Skynet satellites are controlled from. And if you've heard of the movie Terminator, they've got the Skynet. Well, it's a slightly different system because it's a series of satellites which are for communications inside the Ministry of Defence. And they were originally put up there by Boeing, and they're now run by Airbus. So there's a little station there on site, and that's got an underground bunker underneath it. And we just wanted to tell people about what was going on because they're dealing with communications radar, and in the past they sent out aircraft and diverted them to intercept UFOs when they were picked up on radar. And this is in the Public Records Office, all this documentation.
Yeah, a lot of it's now out, isn't it? You can
yeah.
publicly look at it, but at the time you were doing it, there wasn't too much disclosure, I believe. Is that right?
That's right. They didn't actually tell people that the Provost of Security Service, DSTI, which is Department of Scientific and Technical Intelligence, there was another one, Air Intelligence 4A, Air Intelligence 5B, and the really interesting one, which is DI 55, Defence Intelligence 55. And if anybody's familiar with Nick Pope, who used to work for the MOD, the guy who used to be the UFO investigator, he said whilst he was working with the Ministry of Defence, there were no other departments that were above him that were dealing with this. And I got this document, which was from the Public Records Office, which basically proved that there were many other departments above him that were working on this stuff. And when we got this document out there, then Nick Pope was able to change his position and say, well, actually, yes, I did work with DI-55, and now there's been a lot of information come out about UFO sightings which are covered up. I don't know if you've heard about the Calvine incident, where there were jets flying with this big diamond-shaped UFO, which the photograph has been released now of that. Absolutely colossal-sized UFO being, you know, chased or guarded.
Yeah, obviously now it's all out. but there's loads of disclosure stuff. You know, you've got Rendlesham Forest, another one, isn't it? I mean, did Nick Pope did that as well, didn't they?
Yes, Nick Pope investigated the Rendlesham Forest incident, and there's lots of other things out there which he's done in the past, but he doesn't focus on now. I'm quite interested in Nick as a kind of a UFO investigator because he focuses away from the UK and keeps on talking about how the Americans may have this and the Americans and the Americans, and he's the guy who was in the Ministry of Defence who never told us what the investigations were inside the Ministry of Defence. When he's on television, he'd always go, oh yes, you know, but Roswell and America and Arizona, and he's kind of like doesn't like to talk back to the UK because there's a lot more he knows that he's not saying. So
I've noticed that he will always go on about the Americans.
Yeah.
Very rarely, but he might mention the UK now and then, but he won't go into depth, will he? So moving on from that then. So you did that, and you're also into crop circles, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's a side issue.
So I think we're doing it with, a lot of people know you did crop circles.
Yeah.
Have a look, dive into it a little bit.
Okay, well, my investigations into UFOs also led me to go to spiritualist churches and to have readings with people. I became a big believer in the paranormal, had a lot of weird experiences. I've had some ghost sightings, all since my UFO experience. A lot of things happened to me and I've seen a lot of things. So I suppose you could call me a believer now. I believe in this stuff and I'm very firmly a believer, and I believe that it's not through kind of just reading books, it's through actually having experiences. I've had a lot of weird experiences. And that's what led me to go down to Wiltshire, because I found out about the crop circles and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. You know, these things coming down in the middle of the night and they leave a print in the field which you can actually go and visit. Whereas a lot of things to do with the paranormal, like a ghost, you may see it but you may not get a photo of it. You know, you can get a lot of transient things that you can't capture, but crop circles was going to be something where you could actually go and see it. It left a physical imprint which was, you know, measurable.
So at that time, you weren't in that crop circle genre, you were just literally coming into it. What did you find out about them? You know,
well, through investigations, I eventually came across some of the people who said they were making them. And I was told point blank by most of the researchers who were doing the crop circle stuff never to speak to people who claim to make crop circles because they would be liars and, you know, you wouldn't want to deal with them. They're dark energy, they'd throw all sorts of things at you, and kind of one of the things they did, which is sort of like cultish, is they'd say, well, if you speak to these people, we won't bother with you anymore. We'll cut you off. If you speak to those circle makers, we're cutting you off. That's it. And I thought, well, I don't like to be told what I can and can't look at, so I was kind of happy to kind of speak to these guys to hear what they had to say. And I thought they put forward a very good case for why they were making the crop circles, and the only thing that I couldn't do was actually get them to show me them doing it, because that would be a risk to them that I might, you know, reveal to the police that they were making the crop circles. So
they didn't actually show you?
Didn't show me, just told me. It's very much at arm's length. We'll talk to you, but we're not going to prove anything to you because we can't take the risk. I was like, okay, fair enough. So we went away and we decided to make some crop circles to kind of add this into the mix and see whether or not what we created would be taken seriously by so-called expert researchers.
So you decided to make them yourself?
And we decided to make them ourselves to test the researchers to see whether they could tell the difference between ours, which were at the beginning very amateur, and some of the better stuff that was out there. And the result of it was that the researchers were saying that our amateur stuff was really good. And I was like, that's a bit of a head scratcher, because well, we don't really even know what we're doing, and they're saying it's really good.
So they believed it? They believed it was real?
Yep, and people were having healing experiences and things in the crop circles we made, so it seemed like a good idea to carry it on and see how we could kind of progress this. So we kept it going, and along the road of making the crop circles over the years, I had a lot of weird experiences in the fields.
I was going to say, you obviously making them,
yep.
Making them, but you have had obviously experiences whilst you're either making them or if you're by the field, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you want to quickly just delve into that a little bit?
I came to the conclusion after several years of making these and eventually being invited into the kind of inner circle of circle makers. So those people who wouldn't initially speak to me, they eventually said, well, we can see you're making them now, so yeah, you can come out and help us if you want. So I picked up a lot of skills from them, and our work started getting more complicated, and we were up there in a sort of like high art category of crop circle making. And we'd had a lot of weird stuff happen to us. Like we were out one night and I got this feeling that it was okay to make this crop circle in a field where we knew there were people watching the field. And I said to my friend, I said, we can't do this. Oh, thank you. I'll use it now. Yeah, right, okay. There we are then. So, that's thrown me, hasn't it, folks? Yeah. How do you come back from that? Yeah, right. Come. Yeah. So I basically said, look, it's crazy. These guys are going to see us in the field. We can't do this because they're going to see us. And then something came into my sort of head, like saying, no, you can do this. You can do this. And I'm thinking, well, it's insanity because we're going to get caught. They're going to see us. The police could get called. It's all going to go wrong. But it just kept feeling like, no, you can do this. And I said to my friend, I said, I get this weird feeling like we should do this. And he said, do you know what? I'm feeling that too. Like we should do this. And I'm like, but it doesn't make any sense because we're going to get caught. And he said, I know. And I said, I know, but it just feels like we should.
So it's like a group feeling that you had mutually without you actually knowing it until you spoke to each other.
Yes.
No adrenaline. It's just like, well, no, we should do it. So you're going against all your instincts. That, you know, you're going against the
instincts and logic to say those people can see us. We can see them, so they'll be able to see us. So we shouldn't do this. But it felt like it's okay, we can. So we carried on making this crop circle, and I was curious why nobody came in and stopped us doing it. And in the morning, I said to some people, like, who was up that field last night? You know, because I knew they were sky watchers. They had a telescope. So I said, who are those guys? And we were put in touch with somebody who knew them. And I said, oh, what's the story then about that crop circle that appeared up there? And they said, well, it was interesting because those guys said that a fog bank came down over the field during the night, and they couldn't see anything in that field because of a fog bank.
Did you see the fog bank?
We did not see any fog bank in the field. And in the morning, apparently the fog bank, that's good, keep it on. Yeah. They couldn't see us because of this fog bank. It lifted up in the morning, the crop circle was there. And that's not the only time it's happened where we've had this kind of like wall of invisibility, or that people can't see what we're doing when we're making the crop circle.
Am I right to say you had one when you yourself, you heard chanting, or was that? You heard chanting and then it was... Oh.
Yes. Yeah, we saw balls of light in a field one night which chased us out. So I've told you about one experience where I felt something was okay to do it. And there was a field where I wanted to go to, and we went in there, and everything felt wrong about it. And the feeling I got was, we're not meant to do this. And I don't know, I can't explain it, but it was just like a feeling of it was wrong, like we shouldn't be there. I was very much on edge. But I tried to kind of internalize that, not to let everybody else know what I was thinking and feeling.
So we just hiding it.
I was hiding it to myself. Yeah. And then we went into the field, we found a spot, and I said, right, well, we'll start scribing the circle. And I couldn't get the people who were experienced circle makers to be able to just start scribing this simple circle. And I was having to explain to them what to do and hand them the tape. And I was, and I was like, no, just start something. I'm like, oh, but I don't know what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, everyone was confused. Everyone was really confused, which was unusual for these experienced circle makers to be like that. And so then I just said, look, just start, just do it. So they started scribing, and as they did, 3 balls of light came on in the corners of the field. So if you imagine like this room, so it'd be like 1, 2, 3, and no ball of light in that corner, And then these 3 balls of light came on, and our immediate instinct reaction from cars, when cars drive past, is to just duck down below the level of the crop.
Yeah.
So we ducked down, and then we were all looking at each other, and it was like an instinctive reaction. Farmers, there must be torches, you know, like somebody started running. I thought, yeah, I'm running too, but we ran in the direction where there was no ball of light.
Yeah, I got you.
We ran out of the field, and I can remember looking back a couple of times and seeing these golden balls of light moving across the crop to the position where we would have been starting the circle. So they were moving into that position. But they weren't torchlights, because if it was a torchlight, you'd see a beam moving back and forth across the crop like that. These were just spots of light, and they were just moving very, very carefully. And again, if it's somebody running with a torch, you'd imagine it to be going up and down and up and down.
Of course, yeah.
And none of that. It was just them moving into the position where we'd actually started.
So what happened when, do you remember seeing, when they're in the middle?
Yeah.
Did they come together, disappear, or you just don't remember?
I don't remember seeing them in the middle as one object, because I think we got out of the field by that point, and we left somebody behind with our stomper boards, and we said, look, you stay there, get in the hedge, right? We're going to run up now, get the car, because we couldn't walk up the main road with boards in hand, because it would be too obvious. If a car came, you know, we could be spotted with the boards. We'd have to chuck them to the side of the road, and this was a road that didn't have hedges on it. And it was basically straight into a flat field, so you can imagine, where do we hide the boards? Well, there's nowhere. I don't know, let's pretend like we're having sex, put the boards underneath. Oh, sorry, you know, where do you hide them? You can't hide them. So he said, that's the only hedge. You stay there, we'll get the car, we'll drive down, flash the lights, get you in. So we went to get the car, drove back, and as we were driving down the hill, our mate was walking up the middle of the road with the boards clenched tightly in his hand, like stiffly walking up the road, and I just went, what the hell? So I flashed the lights and I went, oi, what's wrong with you? What are you doing walking up the roads with the boards, man? What, come in. He said, oh, just get me in the car, get me in the car. And I'm like, okay, just jump in. So he got in the car, he goes, get out of here, get out of here. And I said, what is it? He goes, I've just heard screaming and sounds like banshees, you know, like sort of wailing sounds, like, you know, this sort of stuff. And he said it sounded blood curdling, and so he was really scared. And I said, but you do realise if we'd been a police car, you'd be in real trouble now. He said, to be honest, if it had been a police car, I'd have said, let me in, get me out of here. That's how seriously he was quite shook up by this, you know. So yeah. And
so you carried on this for a while. I know you are the only person in the UK who's got a record.
Oh, arrested for it, yeah.
So you're the only person in the UK who's been arrested for making one?
Yes. And it's because I've been trying to help the public understand more about the art and the paranormal stuff, and why the people who make them believe that we're being guided to actually do certain things at certain times. Because I've got it was 11 o'clock at night, I got a mental idea in my head, like an idea being pushed in my head, that I had to go out and make a crop circle that night. And I didn't have a team to go out with. So I got up and I was like, okay, well, I'll try and do this, but it's going to be a bit hard. I'll have to use a tripod, and I'll weight the tripod down and use that to kind of describe the circle with me. I drove to Avebury, which is a stone circle, and I made this design. Nearby, I could hear people's voices and somebody playing a guitar. They were really close, like within a couple of 100 feet of where I was. And I felt, again, like I could get away with doing this in front of these people. I was quiet, but when I finished it in the morning, I sought out people to say, well, who was there last night at Avebury, and you know, what happened with that circle that appeared? And they said, oh, it's really weird, because those people said that they were meditating on the design, and it appeared a couple of 100 feet away from where they were doing the meditation, and it's exactly the same shape that they were meditating on. I came out and did within a couple of 100 feet of them.
So what you're basically saying is these people meditated, and so telepathy in one sense or another, some type of mind telepathy to you, to go out to the field, do the crop circle, and you could hear the chime or whatever it was, but you didn't know where it was coming from.
And that was interesting, because those people, I did meet them, and they said we weren't playing guitar and we weren't chanting, we were sitting quietly making no noise at all. But I heard guitar and chanting,
but they weren't doing that apparently. Now I think that was something was making me hear that to warn me they were there, because I might have been making more noise otherwise, thinking I was on my own.
So you would say it's paranormal of some sort?
So paranormal in two senses, letting me know those people were there, because they were completely quiet apparently, and also that I did the design that they were asking for. It could be one of two things, because maybe something is putting the idea for that design in their heads too. Something else up there could be putting the design in their heads, and I'm getting the same idea, because that's happened a few times. Like people have been saying, I knew this design was going to appear, and they kept that to themselves, and we've gone out and done it. And I mean, you know, the designs are quite specific sometimes, and a person will be like, you know, that is the design, that is really the design that I had, and somebody's gone and put it in the field. So
that, for the people who do the crop circles then, or did do the crop circles, were you sort of the only sort of, obviously your team doing that, but the people who did it before you, and then you got let into this inner circle, did they also have these same feelings as well when they did the crop circles?
I was very interested in not only finding out who made the crop circles, but the paranormality of it. You know, I went from being a disbeliever to being a full believer, and then actually dedicating the crop circles we were doing to these telepathic entities that were kind of helping us and controlling us and giving us the ideas. So I went into kind of like full cult weirdo mode, you know, kind of like. But yeah, it was all good, you know. It was all great, and I wanted to tell people that there were a lot of people like us out there doing it for the same reasons, and I just wanted to share that kind of positive message. But unfortunately, it got me in trouble, because I was working to tell the researchers, I'm making these, and they kept on saying, well, prove it. So some of them, we did actually take cameras out with us at night, and we showed stuff, but they would say, oh, you're not going to say which circle that is. I said, we can't, because I get in trouble for it. So a couple of times we got paid to do demonstrations for TV programs and things like this, and we did it under real conditions, and we did it at night, and we replicated a circle from the past perfectly under night conditions, but it was being paid for by a TV company.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
So, you know, we did a perfect carbon copy of the circle.
Carbon copy, but under controlled conditions.
Yeah. So it's, I just told too much to too many people. One day, somebody I respected in the United States, Whitley Strieber, who's an author of UFO books. I don't know if you know the book. I think it's called Abduction, and it's got the grey alien face on the front.
Yeah, it's Abduction.
Yeah. I contacted him because he did a radio show, and I said, do you want to know the truth about crop circles? And he said, yeah, sure. And I explained that I made them, and he said, well, you'll have to prove it to me. And I said, well, what proof would you want? And he said, well, send me a design before it appears, and then, and I said, yeah, but you'll keep it quiet, it'll just be between us, yeah? And he said, yeah, sure, I'll keep it between us. And I'm like, okay. So I sent him the design, went out and made it, and he went and gave it to the crop circle researchers, who gave it to the police, and then I had the police come to my house and...
So they basically stitched you up?
Stitched me up,
They want you, people knowing really how it's done?
Yeah. And it was nasty at the time. I got a very small fine for it. The magistrates actually laughed, and I think they were more on my side than anything else, to be honest, because at the end of the day, it brought a lot to the area, brought a lot in terms of art, tourism, and a lot of people who were interested in spirituality came because of the crop circles too. And I think we were part of that. You know, that was a genuine thing. And these people who say, oh, you know, hoaxers, people who make crop circle are hoaxers, but people who make crop circles are the crop circles, that's it, you know? It really is people, but those people are not necessarily negative. They're not doing this to kind of fool people, pull the wool over their eyes. We're doing it because we're trying to give them something positive that's spiritual, that we're being guided to do, so they can have that positive spiritual experience, you know?
Yeah, I understand that. So, obviously, crop circles are still around, and you know, it's still going on. So, whether it is higher beings, entities, what you said, or whether it's just people dossing around and doing that, it's still open to debate. Would you agree? Obviously, not in your eyes.
Well, if you want to believe that aliens are making the crop circles, I would suggest go out and make a couple and see what people say about your work, because they'll probably categorize it as being real and the rest of it. It's the only way to be sure
is to make it yourself. I mean, so I could tell you up here, I could show you footage of what we've done under night conditions, under day conditions, but you're not going to believe it unless you've actually been there, made one, and then seen what people say.
No, I'll get you. Matt, moving on from the crop circles then, obviously you're not in that sort of bit now, you do urbexing.
Yes.
As everybody knows, well-known urbexer, done the paranormal stuff as well.
Yeah.
What initially got you into urbexing? Not your childhood bit, we've done that before.
I know, the childhood bit was I was a very curious child, used to climb up scaffolding, on roofs, go in tunnels and do all sorts of things like that. And then it sort of, I didn't do that for a while, you know, through teenage years, because there was a lot of computers and video editing and cars and things like that. So, and then when I started doing the UFO stuff, because I think it was like I might have been 19 years of age when I had that UFO sighting, and I started writing for the magazines. And once I got to Rudlow Manor, Corsham, and I found out about the underground bunkers, that piqued my interest. I got in there, and it started me up again. You know, that sort of fired me up into the kind of exploring.
That made you right. I'm going to go and start doing exploring other sort of random places.
And I used to video document it back then, but not in the way that I do it now, because I didn't have enough battery life. Otherwise I probably would have filmed everything, you know, so I didn't have good torches and I didn't have good batteries in the video camera.
And of course technology's moved on. We didn't have what we have now, so you were doing it manually really, weren't you? Other than like a proper camera, that was about it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm nosy. I like looking into old buildings and churches and things like that. You know, I find them fascinating. I find it quite eerie. And I used to explore a lot of them on my own when I was a kid. And I used to spook the hell out of myself because I would explore these places, but I would never like to go in the basement. I would never go to the basement, like as if there was something down there that was going to get me, you know.
Are you still like that? Do you?
No,
you've got over that, yeah?
I've definitely got over it now, yeah.
You just scare other people in basements.
Yeah, Brady.
Yeah, it was funny.
But that's it. That's how I got back into it. And I saw other people on YouTube doing it, and I thought, but I'm into this. Why don't I do that? You know, I just thought, well, other people are doing it. I could easily do this because I have video editing skills and camera skills. So that's when I got back into it.
So you carried on doing that. You're still doing it now.
Yeah.
Any future plans to do something different, or the same, or anything you want, like looking to do, but haven't quite got there yet?
I have got some ideas of a couple of things I would like to do, but I'm not in a position money-wise to be able to do them because they are stuff that's abroad. And I cut my coat according to my cloth, and yeah, we're all UK based at the moment. So,
but hopefully, who knows, we're going to get out further out, yeah.
I'd like to. There's a couple of places I would like to do. I mean, like years ago, I went to Area 51 in the United States, so that's where the UFOs are supposed to be. And I did a bit of a tour of there.
Been up there.
Yeah. So I'd like to do some places like that around the world. Do maybe some more UFO documentaries as well. Put some stuff out on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, because we've now obviously they've got the Americans are now sort of going, yeah, we admit it. There are things in the sky which we have known about for a long time.
Yes, it's now been officially admitted that there are things which are appearing on radar, and the American government do not know what these are, but admitting they're there. So
there's more coming out in November, I believe.
There's a Congress hearing, I believe, in November, which has moved
November
from
the 13th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So it's moved from the House of Representatives. Cheers. It's moved from the House of Representatives to the Congress. So yeah, you know, watch out for alien disclosure soon. Cheers. Take care. Okay. Come on then. And that's basically it.
Brilliant.
So you can all leave now.
Yep, see you.
Can you get pissed?
Matt, thank you so much. And,
oh, and Melissa's got the
what's she got?
Raffle tickets. Is Brady want to come up? I was only kidding about he's like, he forgot me. Come on, get up, Brady. Yeah, come on, Brady. Tell us your life story. Wow.
Oh, this is impromptu. This is an impromptu thing, yeah.
There's a bottle of Jack Daniels, and the first prize is the pictures at the back. So we need a volunteer to come and choose a number for me. Give him a shuffle. You know, no closure. Well, don't need to.
53.
Turn it around. So the number be the name be on the back.
Simon.
There you go, Simon. Way! Way! Yes. He's got 20 quid. I need another volunteer to come and choose a number. I can go. Whoops. Give him a shuffle. Whose name's on the back? Susie? Susie? You're there? Okay. Fair enough. Pretty much. You've got the bottle of Jack Daniels. What?
My name's not Susie.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Little pizza party after Geddon.
I got more for a while.
And just like that, guys, Urbageddon is over. Until next year. Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, buddy. On our way to Urbageddon. Donkey Geddon. Woo!